Hello, my name is Matt Lathrop, and I'll be your online instructor for Business Calculus this summer. I want to give you a brief walkthrough of some of the highlights of the course, some of the features, as well as discuss the syllabus and some of the expectations for the course over the next 8 weeks. So what we're looking at right now is the announcements screen, which is what you'll see every time you log into our course. You'll see obviously any announcements that have been posted recently. So it's always a good idea every time you log in just to check, see if there's any information that's being sent out to you that you need to be aware of. And then over on the right-hand side, there's going to be a box called My Results, which will just give you a snapshot of where you stand in the course. So overall score, which for me right now is a 0 since I haven't completed any assignments. But as you start completing assignments, you'll see that overall score fill in, as well as percentages in each of the different categories. So homework, quizzes, tests, discussions, just giving you an idea every time you log in, really briefly, of how you're performing in the course overall. On the Start Here page, which is where you found the video that you're watching right now, you're also going to find a couple of other videos, one on navigating the structure of the course, one on checking your progress and getting help. I would encourage you to watch both of those as well, just so you're as familiar as possible with the layout of the course. But feel free to ask me questions at any point. You'll also want to take a look at the campus safety video. Once you've gone through those, then there's a little what's next box here, just telling you then you can move on to taking a look at the syllabus a little bit more in depth, read through the information on the Getting Help page, and then move on to the week 1 assignments. So we want to go ahead and talk a little bit about the syllabus, the expectations for the course. We're not going to hit on all of the information contained here, but some of the things I want to highlight. You'll want to be sure you read through all of this information on your own. So to start off with, we have my contact information with a note including that the best way to get a hold of me, especially since this is a summer course, will be via email. My office phone number is also listed here, but again, it's the summer. I just may not be around and as available in my office. So email is going to be a good way to get in touch with me, but I do have office hours scheduled right now from on Wednesdays and Thursdays from 11 a.m. to noon. It's likely that's going to get shifted around due to some meetings that are going to be scheduled, but I'll be sure to send out an announcement to the course to let you know if those office hours get updated. So we have the course description for the course. We're going to jump down to required and optional materials. So required materials for this course include an online access code to MyLabs Plus. So right now you're in the MyLabs Plus environment, but the first time you try to access an assignment, you'll be prompted to enter an access code. You can either purchase that from the bookstore, or the site itself will walk you through how to purchase that directly through the textbook publisher online if you have a credit card available. You'll also need a graphing calculator. Either a TI-83 or TI-84 is going to be required. If you have a different model graphing calculator, you can talk to me about that, but if you have a TI-89, the answer will be that you can't use that in this course. We're also going to be making use of a site called Wolfram Alpha. That's freely available, so no cost there. As an optional material, an optional item, you can purchase a physical copy of the textbook if you'd like. You don't need that since your online access to MLP will include an e-text. But if you're someone who likes to have physical copies of things to read, you may want to consider purchasing the 12th edition because you can get that for incredibly cheap. Last time I looked, about $2 on Amazon. So you'll need the access code. If you want the physical textbook, that's an option for you as well. Some information I'm going to pass over, but again, I would encourage you to take a look at this. Use of technology. This is an online course, so this is going to be a very technology-dependent course. Using MyLabs Plus as the homework and exam system, as well as using this Wolfram Alpha website. So you need to make sure that you have reliable access to an updated computer as well as an internet connection. It's your responsibility to make sure you have those things taken care of and have a backup plan in mind in case things don't work. If your computer at home breaks, your internet connection goes down. There are always computers in the library, and so you've always got access to a computer with an internet connection, but you also want some sort of backup plan in mind in addition to that in case your internet access goes out at home. So another location where you could work on the material for this course. Your attendance and participation are going to be tracked by basically completing assignments every week, which will include most weeks a discussion post. There is a midterm withdrawal policy in place if you fail to access our course for 1 week without appropriate notice, if you fail to fully participate in more than one online discussion, or if you fail to meaningfully attempt at least 70% of assignments in this course that are due by midterm, you may be withdrawn. Hopefully that won't be the case for any of you, but just something to be aware of. So in addition to discussions, there will be weekly homework, quizzes, and exams. You'll want to take a look through this different information. But in short, homework has a set due date, but you can complete homework past the due date for up to 90% credit. Since this is an accelerated summer course, I would really strongly encourage you to make sure you're getting assignments completed on time. If you start to fall behind, this course will become very challenging. But if you do fall short of a due date, you can still complete homework a little bit late for up to 90% credit. You do get unlimited attempts at homework, so as long as you're completing things by the due date, you should be able to get upwards of a 90, 100% on all your homework assignments. On non-exam weeks, we'll have a quiz. You'll initially get one attempt at a quiz, but there's some information in here telling you how you can unlock a second attempt. Quizzes have to be completed by the deadline, or else you'll receive a 0. Then on other weeks, we'll have exams, which will be split into a proctored portion and a take-home portion. The proctored portion needs to be taken at one of Heartland's testing centers. There's some information here about where that's going to be. You also have the option to take this at our Pontiac or Lincoln campus. You'll just want to contact them to find out details on testing. So there will be the proctored portion, which will be similar to a standard math test you've probably seen in other courses. And then there will also be a take-home portion. The take-home portion will be a little bit more of a written test. We'll be using that Wolfram Alpha software that I mentioned to do a little bit more analysis. So a little bit more will be expected of you in terms of your interpretation and explaining the application end of the math that we've been studying. A proctored final exam is also going to be required for this course. So again, that'll have to be taken in one of Heartland's testing centers. And you will have the opportunity at the end of the semester to improve some low exam scores. Your grade on the final can, in addition to being part of your final grade, can also replace a low exam score on one of the proctored portions, and will have an optional take-home exam at the end of the semester. In case one of those take-home exams didn't go well for you, you'll have the opportunity to try and replace one of those. We've got a table here kind of outlining release dates for different exams. So these aren't the due dates, these are the dates the exams will become available, and then you'll have through the deadline for each of those tests, which would be about a week to complete the exam. Grading structure for the different assignments, and then the grading scale for the course, which is a standard 90, 80, 70 scale. A couple of dates to be aware of, including the last day to drop. July 4th, Independence Day, the college will be closed, and July 18th will be the last day to withdraw from this course. The purpose statement here is just explaining that if you contact me via email, that email needs to come from your Heartland email account. If you're a student at another college or have a personal email account, unfortunately I won't be able to reply to those or answer questions regarding your status in the course, things like that. So make sure if you're contacting me via email that you're doing that through your Heartland email account, or that you're contacting me through the MyLabs Plus site. Let's see. So then what we have is, of course, the syllabus disclaimer just saying that this information is subject to change. But since this is an online class, we should be able to stick to these dates pretty well. And then we have an outline of a week-to-week course calendar. So for instance, taking a look at week 2, that's when our first exam will hit. So we'll have a couple of sections of new material, but then we'll also have our first exam, both a proctored and a take-home portion, which will be due Tuesday, June 21st by the end of the day. So that exam will open up June 13th, and you'll have through June 21st to complete it. So that gives you just over a week to help accommodate for summer schedules, vacation plans, things like that. But keep in mind, if you're unable to complete the exam by that deadline, unless you have an extenuating circumstance, you'll end up receiving a 0 for that exam. So look through these exam dates ahead of time. Make sure you plan things around any personal events, travel, things like that you might have going on this summer. After that, then there's just some general information for students about testing services, counseling services, library and tutoring services. So some more general information for you to be aware of. So we've gone through this syllabus very much in brief. Take a look through this information. You're responsible for knowing all of it, and just be sure to get in touch with me if you do have any questions. Again, after you've looked through this information, you'll want to navigate back to the Start Here page to learn a little bit more about how to navigate the course, how to check your progress and get help. Once you've looked through all the different information, you feel like you're ready to go, you can go ahead and click on week 1 and get started on those week 1 assignments. So I look forward to hearing from you. I'll be in touch with you through the announcements board in the course, through individual emails, and then through our discussion assignments as well. So anytime you have questions, just please feel free to contact me.